January 24th. Yeah, 2024. Talk about my nerve damage. Gonna be quickie. I'm going to a couple of really scary aspects of what's going on. So anyway, my right hand. All the burning, itching sensations they're relieving. I'm not near as agitated as it was. And I've cleared a nerve. I'm thinking it's between C3 and C2. Might be between my atlas and my axis. It's a little bit of a tight, little bit slid over just a little bit. And that nerve goes down the back side of my left arm, all the way down the back of your bicep in the back, down your forearm, and into these three fingers. Not my index finger, my pinky and those three fingers. And this one's kind of painful at times, a little bit of itching. Not as bad as my right hand was. Just kind of like echo painting, but since it's obviously a different portion of the nerve or a different nerve, this one's the index finger, my thumb, over towards my middle finger on the right hand, left hand's pinky, and these three, my thumb, my index finger, nothing. So kind of like got all this pain, itching, and scratching, and just nasty. Of course, my left leg, which is kind of mirroring my left arm, when I unlocked my atlas, it felt like I got scalped. It felt like somebody just ripped the skin off the top of my head. And when that nerve come clear, that and the other nerves, several other nerves probably, that nerve runs down the side of my leg by my knee, all the way down the side of my leg, down to my foot on the outside of my left leg, which is pretty much almost it's kind of in the front of the thigh, but it's more towards the left, more towards the outside of the thigh. It's not on the inner thigh. Of course, my left knee relocated, or not my left knee, I'm sorry, my right hip relocated. My right knee was out, and it popped back in. Amazing how things work when they're out. They work better when they're in. And the final thing on this little deal is that, I'm continuing to improve. I still have quite a bit of problems with chronic fatigue, so I tire real easily. And I'm trying to get more exercise, trying to build up. I have a lot of muscle loss, so I have a lot of muscles that they're just not there anymore. It's just they're gone, and they got to grow back. That's just the way it is. I want to talk about how an atlas dislocation can affect your blood pressure, and how this is being overlooked, and why heart failure probably is the number one killer, according to them. Ignored dislocated atlas complications is the number one killer of the people in the world. You can put them all together, and they're all going to point at that. When the realization comes that you're dislocated, I was dislocated, and everybody around me is dislocated, and the medical system's busted. And the reason people are dying from heart attacks is because when you get dislocated, your dislocation restricts blood flow to and from your brain. It could be a restriction, an outflow restriction. It could be an intake restriction. But whatever the restriction is, it doesn't matter. What matters is your brain starving for blood. Now, what might happen if your brain's starving for blood? Well, all kinds of things are going to happen. One, your immune system's going to try to compensate, and your blood pressure's probably going to start going up because it's going to try to pump blood past those restrictions. Good cause for strokes. But the problem with your blood pressure is your brain can't get it equalized. Your brain's starving. You're dying. So your immune system, your brain, it's going to raise your blood pressure. So if your blood pressure's up, especially at a young age, you might have a pretty serious atlas dislocation injury, and it's not being attended to. They're chasing the complications. They're treating the complications, and they're patting themselves on the back, telling everybody about how great a job they're doing, when they're really doing an absolutely pathetic job. People are dying daily from strokes, from brain tumors, from heart attacks, heart failure. And they're torturing these people going in there and doing all these heart surgeries for heart failure when the problem's up there in the neck. And that's just the beginning. You are most likely been dislocated in your youth, probably at a really young age. And you run around 2 or 3 years old, smacking your head on the ground all the time, falling forward. And everybody thinks it's so funny. And there's really no help out there for all the little children having seizures, all the little MD children, all the little CP children, all the little MS children. Just on and on and on. A whole worldly dislocated herd of ignored Atlas dislocations. Your doctors are half brain humpbacks, and they can't figure it out. They can't fix their necks. They're dying from their own stupidity. So, if you think there's any medical help out there that's going to override your Atlas dislocation at this time, you are misinformed, and you're going to suffer the consequences of following a blind person, doing what a blind person tells you to do, and that's what's happening. I'm not blind anymore. I see what's happening, I know what's happening. It's not a hard thing to see. You leave people not cross-eyed to suffer and die the consequences, and gaslight them and run them around and call them pussies and tell them they're mentally ill, and it's all in their head. Sooner or later, man, you're going to get tired of that. I know I did. I stay away from them. Stay plumb away from them. I don't even want to go up there and visit my dying friends in the hospital because I know what's going on. I know why they're dying. Well, anyway, God bless in the 405. Always such a negative person I am, but I'm trying not to be. I'm trying to be positive. I am improving, and that's something to be really happy about, is to have a little relief, to actually get an extra hour back into your day. Yeah, say I got about an extra hour. So instead of having a 3 or 4 hour day where I actually get stuff done, I may get 5 or 6 hours. Pretty soon it's going to be 7 or 8 hours, I hope. Pretty soon I'm going to start gaining more muscle back, I hope. Pretty soon maybe the medical system will catch on to the truth. I hope. I can't relocate everybody else's neck. There's too much responsibility. Seizures alone can kill you. I can't be responsible for your seizures. I can't be responsible for your children's seizures. All I can tell you is how you get out of the seizures. And it's on the magnitude of having a baby. Childbirth is life-threatening. Seizures are life-threatening. Resolving the seizures. That's your grand mal seizure. That's your resolvent seizure. You got to get there. And the only way you're going to get that seizure to calm down and go back into dormancy is to get your Atlas unlocked, go through the seizures, and seize out of them. And then finish relocating your neck and ungrowing all your distorted growth and moving on to a better life. Like I say, God bless in the 4-5. There are better things in the future coming. Later.